What a star in the making! And Toddy Meister wins its leap by 9! Here comes Classic Empire trying to run down the new leader, Malagasy. Here's the champ, Classic Empire. Classic Empire! Magnum Moon has suddenly opened up a 3.5 length margin, and he's going to be an undefeated Arkansas Derby winner. Get ready, Kentucky, there's a bad moon on the rise! There's an eighth of a mile to go, and American Pharaoh is putting on a show. He has not been asked the question, but everyone knows the answer. He is indeed the ruler, American Pharaoh, breathtaking in a mesmerizing performance as he dominates the Arkansas Derby. Omaha Beach, 3/4 of a length. Improbable attacks on the outside, and these two have sprinted 3 lanes clear of Long Range Toddy. Improbable gonna try him one more time. Omaha Beach, Improbable to the outside. Omaha Beach just won't let him by yet. Improbable second. Omaha Beach, yes!
Let's look at the disappointments in this race. Obviously, the most prominent one was Long Range Toddy. He came in here much ballyhooed after defeating Improbable in the first division of the Rebel Stakes. He had been very solid in his career in 7 starts, finishing on the board in 6 of them with 4 wins. And in this race, he was actually in a prime spot. Now, whether the racetrack wasn't to his liking or the fact that there were just some faster horses in front of him was ultimately, the downfall of of LRT. He stalked. He was 2 lengths back. He was in a prime position. Maybe he was too close to the pace. The pace wasn't absolutely a nuclear one. And then he got outrun on the turn. What was supposed to be the matchup, ended up being a blowout as Improbable just blew by him like he was, standing still. And at that point, you knew that Long Range Toddy was in trouble if in fact he wasn't taken by surprise and could recover and re-rally. And that, of course, could have happened, but it didn't. So, I mean, it was obvious at that point in the race, unless Long Range Toddy had recuperative powers upon seeing Improbable blow by him that were going to put him back into contention. You could see that the wheels were and the horseshoes were starting to fall off of him. And it just was he has enough points to get into the Derby. I think what's going to be problematic is the fact that in the Derby, obviously you've got the added distance. He certainly doesn't want to see an off track. He's going to have to improve off of it. Maybe, he's just bounced a little bit and maybe he's got 3 weeks. He can put it back put it back together, get a decent post, and maybe be able to work out a trip. I wouldn't completely count him out. I want to see what he can do on if it ends up being a dry surface at Churchill Downs and see if he can redeem himself. But boy, he's going to have a tough task. Having said that, I said that about Country House and said that, some horses, they pull back. They end up, backing up with the added distance. Maybe not because it's not career threatening or it's a lifetime ban that they can get the distance, but because on this particular day, for whatever reason, they're just not able to get the trip. So that could happen. That might benefit Long Range Toddy if he's ready to go. Again, I'll give him a slight mulligan on this one. He obviously got, absolutely, roasted in this race. And he's going to have to definitely improve, and some of the others are going to have to regress for him to have a shot at this point. But I do think that, you can maybe toss it simply because of the racetrack. But again, if it comes up, muddy at Churchill Downs, he's going to have to figure out a way to overcome this phobia if you believe that the off track was what was his undoing. But I really believe it was a little bit of that, and it had a lot to do with the winner and the runner-up just blowing by him and basically just leaving him for dead on the turn. So again, Long Range Toddy is definitely in rehab, getting treatment at ICU at a local Hot Springs, Arkansas. They may have had to send him to Pine Bluff, but either way, he's in a rehab. He's recovering, and maybe he'll be able to rectify the wreck of a performance that he had in the Arkansas Derby. But again, Omaha Beach, very, very impressive, as was Improbable. I think it's pretty clear that these horses from California, Omaha Beach, Improbable, Roadster, Game Winner, are very, very good, and we'll see if there are others that can crack the code. I think Tax and Tacitus and Vacoma, those horses are interesting, and then you then can fill your top 10, top 15 with other horses. But meantime, Long Range Toddy, we'll see what he can do to get back and redeem himself, if possible, if he can possibly redeem himself in the Kentucky Derby. Meantime, again, Omaha Beach is your winner of the 2019 Arkansas Derby.
Omaha Beach and Improbable are 1-2 as they run towards the top of the stretch in the Arkansas Derby. Omaha Beach, 3/4 of a length. Improbable attacks on the outside, and these two have sprinted 3 lanes clear of Long Range Toddy. Then comes Laughing Fox, Omaha Beach. Improbable in second. Omaha Beach is now a length in front. Improbable's gonna try him one more time. Omaha Beach, Improbable to the outside. Omaha Beach just won't let him by yet. Improbable second. Omaha Beach, yes!